Hello. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Happy
So
Halloween.
guest to open. Yes, we do have a guest here, but no, he shall not talk yet. He'll be quiet for the remainder. Silent. We have a few updates. Update number 1. If you saw the last episode, we have the trophy of the trivia. And Isabella, do you want to explain what it is?
So this is the new member of the family, and her name is Michelle Williams. And I won her because I won the trivia game because I am
She's the smartest.
The best at movie
Coral.
trivia. I'm the smartest. So I get to keep Michelle in my home, and she gets to watch over me at night.
Moving on. Okay, I was kidding.
Oh my god. We love Michelle.
She's going to be in the rest of the video.
Mm-hmm. We get it.
Speaking out.
If you want to see the intense battle, watch our last video. It was very intense, if I say so myself. But also, you can say who picked out Michelle. Who picked her out? Oh, wait, yeah. It was me. I picked out Michelle. My choice.
Yeah, surprise what Michelle was going to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we just went to... The story was I went to the grocery. Me and Hunter went to the...
we went to get the candy.
And Hunter's like, how about you look at the dollar plate, like, the little dollar area, and see if there's anything you want to get as a trophy, see if there's anything. And I just saw that. Last one of them. And at first I'm like, no. But then it was calling to me, and I'm like, sure. So I grabbed it, and I didn't let Hunter see it, and I just bought it, and I'm like, Hunter, you ready?
It was good.
Yeah, it was fun. And another update. So Nessie, the pumpkin we threw out, we didn't. There was a video, but I'll send the video, and we'll post the video. But she has now 3 offspring. I named them Lady, Tramp, and Johnny. And they're named after the seagulls filmed in the lighthouse. So, yeah.
They have names?
Yeah, the seagulls had names. They filmed with. They were trained seagulls.
Oh.
And I wrote my paper on that. So, yeah. And they have googly eyes now. So, yeah. I'll input another picture here. And then, to open like we always do, we're going to do introductions. And then we're going to say what we're dressed up as. If you didn't notice, we are dressed up. And then Isabella has a question of the day today. Would you like to introduce the question of the day?
Yes. This is inspired by some watching that I was doing last night. So I know we're going to be talking about mostly movies tonight. So I was wondering, what's your favorite Halloween episode of a TV show?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Isabella, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can introduce myself first. Hello, I'm Isabella, and I am dressed as Jessica Day from New Girl, one of my favorite shows. Thank you.
Can you show us your feeling stick?
Oh, your prop.
I have my prop as well. Hold on, let me just adjust it real quick. I also have my feeling stick because Jess is a teacher, and she always brings her feeling stick with her to work.
Yay!
It's not a cat toy; it's a feeling stick. So,
get it right.
In bangs, glasses, lipstick,
the bangs,
the whole thing. I know they literally blend in my hair. I think I'm just gonna wear these forever now.
Honestly, yeah.
And then,
favorite Halloween episode.
Okay, so I'm torn because my first favorite episode is the Dawson's Creek Halloween episode in season 1, which is inspired by Scream, which is also written by the same person, Kevin Williamson. He wrote Scream.
Fun fact.
Dawson's Creek. Fun fact for everyone. And since I'm dressed as Jess, I also love the New Girl Halloween episodes, specifically the one in season 2 where Nick has to go into the haunted house to tell Jess that Sam is talking to other girls. And he gets scared and he punches Jess in the face.
I like when the girl is like, wasn't there a girl that she's like, I'm raining cats and dogs. And she's a royalty.
Winston's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And no one understood it.
Yeah.
Or Schmidt was young Abraham Lincoln because most Americans think about Abraham Lincoln at least once a day. So. And the season, special shout out to the season 3 episode because that's the Michael Keaton episode where Schmidt receives not fan letters, but he's friends with Michael Keaton, so yeah.
I feel like
our
guest should go next.
Yeah, here's our special guest.
Yes.
Take it away.
That's a good question. Favorite Halloween episode. Wait, do I say what I am first?
Let's say who
But
you
what's your
are.
name?
No one knows who you are.
My name
You
is.
are what you are.
I'm the
Who?
mystery man. And
No.
my costume is the mystery man. No, my name is Simon. I am Diet Mountain Dew for Halloween. It's a good beverage. It's also the name of a Lana Del Rey song.
Oh my god, you're Lana Del Rey. That's your costume.
Oh man, I feel like Isabella totally stole my answer for best Halloween because like there's
Dawson's
like
is a good answer.
It is because that episode's pretty creepy too. The one with the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, it scared me.
I was genuinely scared.
Yeah, that was creepy, and they let her in the house.
Yeah.
I honestly am gonna say that one, but to be original, like that's like in my deep down in my heart, that's my favorite. But to be original, dang, oh man, this is so hard. I probably got to go with there's this Simpsons one, the Simpsons Halloween one where Homer becomes 3D. It's one of the Treehouse of Horror. It's like a segment, and he becomes like 3D animated. And at the time, it was like really weird looking and creepy, and it's just a really funny episode. So I got to say that one. But deep down, it's Dawson's with
Dawson's
crazy girlfriend and the. Doesn't he meet her at a drugstore or something? Don't they meet at like a CVS, like a? He's like Pacey's like checking out, and he meets her at the drugstore. Or she's like.
Oh, it's like a gas station, right?
It's something like that, and that's so
She's like fighting with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's like so creepily realistic,
God.
like an East Coast drugstore where you.
Yeah,
it's such a good episode. I love that. That's literally the one that first.
That's like a standout of that season too.
It really is.
Good one.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. All right. Oh, I'll go. Hey, I'm Hunter. And I am dressed up as Donna, aka Meryl Streep from Mamma Mia. Favorite film franchise. And then, favorite Halloween episode. Okay, this is funny because I was actually just watching a Halloween episode like right before we started filming. And I started watching Euphoria yesterday. And and like the episode I just got to was a Halloween episode. So I was like, well, I mean, I gotta watch it, I guess. And yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Euphoria, but I don't know. I really like the vibes of the Halloween episode because they go to this party and it's like everyone has really interesting costumes and they're all like drunk and like being silly. Some of it is sad, but I don't know. I really like it because I'm like, I kind of felt like I was living vicariously through them because we can't do anything this year. So I was like, okay, I feel like I'm at a Halloween party. Yeah. I'm like, and like a lot of stuff happens in that episode, like a lot of like relationship turning points. So I was like, because all the crazy stuff that happens at parties, right? So I was like, oh my God.
Crazy night.
Yeah. So I think maybe just because it's fresh in my mind, but that one is pretty good. I like that.
I haven't seen that show yet, but
me neither.
I like it a lot so far.
Aren't
I
they
started
like
yesterday, and I'm already on like the 6th episode. So
are they like ghosts in that show or something? They're like ghosts the whole time. Is that like a thing?
I mean, I don't think so.
I think that might be a 10-15 moment.
10-15.
Well, you let me know because I'm pretty sure.
Maybe it is, and I'll just find it out.
And then
you might have just spoiled the whole thing for me.
Yeah,
I might have just
like you always do.
Simon is the king of spoiling TV shows.
I haven't even seen this one, and I already know.
And you're already gonna spoil it.
Watch, mark my words. They're gonna be ghosts.
If that happens, I'm gonna scream. Like,
yeah. Then
I literally haven't even seen a second. I haven't even seen a commercial for that show. I've only ever seen a poster. But I think they're ghosts in it. I've heard some hearsay on the streets.
I've heard some hearsay.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's my turn, last but not least. But hi, my name's Angelica Kuna, and I am dressed up as Jeff Probst, the host of Survivor. And my, I guess, prop is I can do something very special over Zoom where I can say, Hunter, the tribe has spoken.
Don't kick me off. Don't kick me off the Zoom. Oh my God!
Yes, I turned off her camera, so she's out.
She's eliminated. Hunter, you'll be
Who
next.
will be next? And then I have let me get into it.
That was kind of fun.
Timbira wins immunity. Is that good?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
And then And
We
yeah,
love
and
that.
I guess my favorite Halloween episode. This one is one of those things like I don't think about it, but whenever I do think about a Halloween episode, it's that 70s show Halloween episode with
I knew you were gonna say that.
yeah, because I think I always talk about it. Like it's my favorite episode of that 70s show or one of it, period. And they in the episode they just reference a whole bunch of Alfred Hitchcock
Oh,
movies
yeah.
into one
Ooh.
thing, and it's really
That
fun.
is a good episode.
Yeah, that's
I
a really
know.
good episode.
It's so I think like I remember when I watched it as a kid, like I didn't know any of the Hitchcock movies, but I just loved it in general. It's just funny and like it's
Good
supposed to be really
vibes.
creepy, but it's just I think it's just super funny the way it's written too. And then rewatching it when I was older, like in film school, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is actually really
You're
fun,
like-
like all the movie references. And yeah. So let's get right on to the episode. Anyone want to explain what we're going to be talking about today on our very special spooky Halloween episode?
I like forgot for a second. We invited Simon in because he's our resident horror / spooky dude.
Dude.
And if you watched if you're a fan of our radio show last year, he was also our guest on the radio show. The first ever film said girl guest.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
It's very exciting.
yeah, annual Halloween episode. So today we're going to be talking about movie killers and like movie villains, if you will, monsters, if you will. So we're each going to like talk about some that we like, or I mean, for me personally, I haven't really seen any movies with like the famous killers because I'm scared. So I'm just going to be here for the ride and I'll pitch it. So yeah.
So should we have our special guest chime in first?
Ooh, I'll go first.
Yeah,
So
Mr. Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Diet Mountain Dew act.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Diet.
So yeah, when you guys brought that up, I was like, I was like, because so many movies have killers in them, and so many, or there's like different types of killer movies. There's you have like the spree movies, kind of like that are like like natural born killers, and then you have like the serial killer movies, like Zodiac's not really a serial killer movie. It's more of it's a case or not case movie, but there's like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, which has Michael Rooker in it. He played Meryl on The Walking Dead, and he also played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy. But that's a really like gruesome, like depressing kind of serial killer movie. And then there's slasher, but then there's like I feel one that's kind of underrepresented, and I feel like it's kind of the most like weird genre wise, and it's called Night of the Hunter. It's from 1955. Night of the Haunter. It's from 1955, and it was directed by this guy Charles Lawton, who's a famous actor. He's been in like a ton of stuff, like Mutiny on the Bounty and stuff, and he's a big actor at that time. But he only ever directed one movie, and it was Night of the Hunter, and it's it's like one of the greatest movies of all time, at least one of my favorite movies. But it's essentially it's Robert Mitchum. I'll go into detail about him later, but it's Robert Mitchum in the South, and there are these two young kids whose father is a bank robber. He gets shot and killed, and he only tells the son and daughter. He like whispers to them where the money is hid, and then meanwhile perusing the South. This takes place in I want to say it's early 1900s, maybe late 1800s. It came out. It was 1955, but it's kind of this weird portion where it's like it's kind of a Western. But it's also more than anything like very Southern Gothic, because Robert Mitchum always does creepy Southern voice. But so he comes in and he's the serial killer, and right off the bat they introduce him as this guy who is, and this was 1955, so this is kind of like a little transgressive for the times, but it's this guy who thinks that God is talking to him and telling him to murder widows.
Oh no.
And so he's driving around, and I think at one point he even says, this could be a weird Mandela effect thing, but I'm pretty sure they say that they wanted to murder overweight widows, and widows with money is the thing, and that's what he says God is telling him to do. So he's driving along, and then he finds these two kids and their mom, who's just widowed because their dad, died in the bank robbery, And so not only was she left a fortune, but she was also recently widowed. So it's a perfect target for like Robert Mitchum. And he sort of just infiltrates their lives right there. And it's super creepy, but it's also the best. I think one of the best part of it, there's so many good parts, but Robert Mitchum is just like, out of, all of the actors, I guess, from that time, I'd say Robert Mitchum is probably my favorite because he was, I won't bore you guys with Western stuff because I know you're not Western girls.
We can be
Western
cowgirls.
Cowgirls. But
yeah, maybe one day.
I love Westerns and stuff like that. But if you watch like a Western from that time, I think John Wayne is insanely boring. He's the worst.
Facts.
And a horrible human being too, but he's just not, he's kind of like America's Boy Scout, where he's just this kind of like goody two shoes, except in The Searchers, but goody two shoes kind of loser. But then you had Robert Mitchum, who's in a lot of Westerns, and he's just like the ugliest looking dude on the planet. He's got a weird kind of like, it looks like his face got pinched in the womb. It's like somebody pinched the mom's stomach, and he's just so disturbing looking and weird looking. But that, like, I out of everything, I respect him for that, because it's, at that time in the Hollywood area, you had to be good looking if you wanted to get movies. And there's this kind of weird sort of, looking guy who came along, and they, because of his weird looks, they cast him in a lot of, there he is. He's got that pinched in face. I think eventually he got that kind of star appeal, the way like Adam Driver and people like that kind of get the weird looking star appeal, or William H. Macy.
Don't even.
William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He is ugly. He is an unwell looking man.
He's an odd looking dude. I'll admit that.
But like, I love actors like that, and that's why. So they got Robert Mitchum to sort of. He was, a lot of people say, he was the first guy to sort of play anti-heroes. So like at this time, Robert Mitchum, height of cowboy movies, height of a lot of noirs. There wasn't really a lot of, Psycho hadn't really come along yet, and Peeping Tom hadn't really come along yet. So like slasher movies and killer movies weren't really big yet then. But he was kind of the closest thing you could get to that, where he would be in all these noirs. He was in this noir called Out of the Past, which is not that good. But he would play these anti-heroes and kind of sleazy humans because he kind of looked so dark and weird. And in Westerns, he would always kind of play, there's this really good Western he's in called Blood on the Moon, where he plays this kind of just like depressed, like greasy, scummy, kind of lonely cowboy. And it was at that time, it was every result, John Wayne, America's hero on the frontier. And then you have this kind of like greasy, scummy looking dude coming along trying to like grub for work. And it was Robert Mitchum. And that's why I think he's like, out of all those, cowboy stars, more than Jimmy Stewart and John, I think he's like sort of my favorite. And so he was, already known for these super dark roles. So then in 1955, they're like, who do we cast as, a weird Southern Gothic semi-Western serial killer? They get Robert Mitchum. And he sort of, after that, he kind of became known to play even darker roles, because right after that, he was in this movie called Cape Fear, which I want to say is like 1962, which is really good.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Did they do like a remake of it or something?
Yeah, they did do. Martin Scorsese did a remake. It's really cheesy, but it's pretty good. And it's Robert De Niro plays Robert Mitchum's character, Max Cady. It's based off a book. And he's not necessarily a killer in it, but it's kind of really transgressive at the time. Again, Robert Mitchum playing these weird kind of transgressive, super like controversial roles. He plays this rapist who gets sent to prison, and the lawyer who sentenced him to prison withheld information, and sort of was responsible. I want to say it's Cary Grant, or no, it's Gregory Peck. I think. Wait, let me look this up really quickly, because it's one of those lawyer kind of like suave guys. Yeah. It's Gregory Peck, and of course lawyer, classic. Southern lawyer roles.
Of course.
So he plays the lawyer in this one, and then he has this really young daughter, and Max Cady gets released from prison, played by Robert Mitchum. De Niro in the remake, but the original is so damn good. Also, it's Bernard Herrmann does the soundtrack for both the remake and the original, and he does, as you know, Taxi Driver and Citizen Kane and all that. But yeah, he's super creepy. And what I like about these kind of like weird Southern serial killers that are like semi-Western almost, Cape Fear not so much. Cape Fear is way more, Louisiana, but Night of the Hunter, I'd say borders on, Western, is that it's always takes the horror kind of, Isabella and I kind of talked about this week, but in the American Horror Story television show, they always have the horror scenes kind of take place during the day. And it makes everything really, really creepy. And in Night of the Hunter, there's this famous scene where this kid is kind of running and hiding under the stairs. And it just takes place in like broad daylight, just this like broad, blunt, like wide shot of just Robert Mitchum trying to grab the kid under the stairs. And it feels so like almost weird surveillance footage. It's really ahead of the time. And just like,
that's scary.
That's so interesting.
It takes place during the afternoon, and it's got that kind of, sun-drenched, southern kind of afternoon, but he's this like horrifying, gothic, weird serial killer who's, kind of just so mysterious. We never get too much backstory into his life, except that we know he thinks that God talks to him, and it's interesting that way, he doesn't become this big, classic Hollywood character, and it's just super eerie and off and weird, and it's genuinely amazing movie. I also had a lot to say about religion at the time. He's there's the most famous thing from the movie is he has hate and love tattooed on his fists. And there's a big scene where he says, I think Spike Lee was a fan of the movie, so he kind of based
that's so
that
interesting.
Character. Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's the same exact line from Do the Right Thing, where he says, I start fighting and I let hate and love duke it out. But it's on Robert Mitchum, and it's cool because at that time, like only weirdos had tattoos. Like now everybody has one, but at that time it was only, and that's the same with Cape Fear. They do it in the remake where he has tattoos, but that was the callback to Night of the Hunter where he just has these weird tattoos, and it's like, who is this weird kind of scumbag criminal coming into town, with tattoos? So I'd say that is the best, even more than like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. I'd say that's sort of my favorite killer movie, though I do love those.
That was so interesting. I've never even heard of that.
Me neither.
And that's why you're on the show, because you know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to need a lot of pictures, though.
The Night of the Hunter?
It's called Night of the Hunter.
Okay,
it's Charles Laughton. Yeah, it's really amazing. And they, it was, for the longest time, it was unseen, but I remember like a few years ago, I had to watch like a really crummy cut of it because it was one of those lost movies. But then a few years ago, like I want to say like maybe like within, the 2010s, I think Martin Scorsese commissioned UCLA, some lab at UCLA to refurbish it, and so they have like this really great, print of it now, and it looks really beautiful. But yeah, it's genuinely a good movie.
Huh. I like that.
I'm adding that to my list too.
That's so cool.
Watch Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Prime Video.
Yeah.
Oh, is it on Prime? I know I knew it was probably on Canon because they did like Criterion.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so interesting.
That's Robert Mitchum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for bringing some old movies into our.
I know.
Not old, like old, but
I'm like a 77-year-old. I'm a 77-year-old like senile man stuck in this body.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh my god,
Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh no.
Who wants to go next?
Who wants? Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh, how do you follow that?
Yeah, mine's like basic too.
Mine's basic too.
Night of the Hunter is a pretty. It's not like a super basic, but it's a pretty popular movie.
He's like, it's basic for us film bros.
Yeah, like none of us have heard of it.
He's like,
right.
It's a popular movie though. Robert Mitchum's a huge star.
I've
never heard of him.
Oh,
I'm a bad film student.
Heard of Robert Mitchum. I feel like I've heard of the movie before. I just like didn't know like, what it was about either.
Yeah.
It's
interesting though when you bring up like the southern like serial killer thing, because I feel like a lot of movies do that, and even like true crime stuff like kind of play with that, because it's like, oh, southern hospitality, and like everyone in the South is supposed to be really like nice.
And it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course.
That's how I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so true.
Subverts that. I haven't either, but I know the story loosely. But
he's a killer in Texas, I guess. So
he's based off a true killer too, right?
He's based off like a combination of them, right?
I think so.
Really?
He's basically it's the same one that Psycho was based off. I can't remember.
I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but
I don't know the name, but I remember he made like I think it was, they also did a thing in American Horror Story too, where like he made like furniture out of skin. I don't know.
Yeah, right. That was kind of
I
what
just
it
watched
was.
that.
I know. I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I wanted to say.
I literally just watched that.
Yeah.
Zachary
Blood-
Quinto's
in Asylum.
character,
Bloody face.
Bloody Face.
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you know it's him.
I finished Asylum. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Oh my god, fun.
Yeah, that we can talk about that later.
Yeah,
but, like,
we'll
it was
chat.
really good. But
Yeah.
same thing in American Horror Story. Like,
Yeah.
the same thing.
Fun.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I can go next. Oh.
Oh no!
You go next.
You go next. No,
No,
you go
you.
next. My internet's kind of unstable, so you go next.
Okay. So I originally was going to talk about The Cabin in the Woods, but I have since changed my mind. So, well, Cabin in the Woods, I do really like that movie, but there's not like one central killer. It's kind of more like the man is going to kill you or whatever. But
I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
highly recommend. Very good. So I think I recently watched the movie Monster, the one with Charlize Theron.
Oh, I want to
And
see
Christina
that. I've
Ricci.
never seen
Yeah,
that.
me too. I wanted to
It's
see that.
like-
Never
That's
seen
a pretty
it.
deep cut. I've never seen
I don't
that
think I've ever heard of it.
So basically,
She won the Oscar for that movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
she looks so
And-
different in it.
yeah, they make her
Yeah.
look like really different. And Patty Jenkins directed it, who she directed Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
I didn't know
So
that either. Oh my god.
yeah, so
I'm gonna take these.
So basically, why I watched this movie was that I listened to the podcast My Favorite Murder, and because this movie's based on a true story, so they did an episode where they talked about this story that Monster is based off of, and I thought it was so interesting because basically what it's about, and I watched it, okay, I said recently, but I think it was at like the beginning of quarantine I watched it, so I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but basically it's about a sex worker who starts like killing the people who hire her to like have sex with her, and she like meets this woman kind of like halfway through, and they start a relationship, and then it's kind of about them like navigating that, and the woman played by Christina Ricci like finding out about it and all this stuff. But I thought the movie is so interesting because it goes a lot into like why she does it, which they didn't really talk about so much on My Favorite Murder, if I can remember, or maybe I just forgot, but it talks a lot about like her trauma that she goes through, and I think she went through something really traumatic, and then that led her, like something in her just kind of like snapped, and so she killed him. No, here's what it is. Basically, she started killing these guys because she was like in a car with one of them one time, and he was doing stuff to her that she didn't like or she wasn't agreeing to, and the only way she could get out of it was by killing him. So then I guess like that kind of changed something in her, and she just started, whenever like her jobs would start to go south or whatever, she would just kill them. And then it gets like messy, and it gets like there's just a lot going on, and like her family doesn't accept her. It's like all these things, and like both of the women come from like pretty bad backgrounds, so then they kind of find each other. So yeah, I don't know. That was like very messy of a description, but I don't know. I like it a lot because again, you don't really hear a lot about like female serial killers or so this was an interesting way to kind of look into that, and it was interesting to actually learn like why she did it, and that it did start from a place of trauma, and just kind of how complicated that is, and then bringing like both of the performances are really great from both of the main women, and it's interesting because I know Christina Ricci is kind of like, she's like child actress and like all this stuff, so then seeing her in this role is quite different from her, I feel like. I mean, I haven't seen her in too much, but I've heard that like it was kind of startling when it came out, because it came out in 2003. So yeah, it was pretty early on. But yeah, I would recommend. It's pretty like grimy, and like, I mean, you're not gonna like feel good watching it, but
But the question is it an Angelique movie? Could Angelique watch it?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
it's like a serial
I think
killer
I've
movie,
yeah, I think I've
so-
definitely.
I heard it's
changed
really
since-
depressing.
since sophomore
Yeah,
year. So.
it's pretty depressing. Like, you're not gonna feel like satisfied watching it, or there's not like a great ending per se.
Mhm.
But I
But
mean,
Her name's Aileen Wuornos, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing just because like all the shit they go through. But I really like true crime, so that's why I like this movie a lot, because I like when stuff is based off true stories, and I just like seeing what makes people do the things they do.
They do.
So yeah.
Well, happy Halloween, guys! Like, it's
Happy
all like a
Spooky.
very
Yeah.
spooky.
I'm gonna add that to my list. Monsters called.
I'm gonna watch that
Yeah,
too.
it's called
Like
Monster.
the like that one song, like calling all the monsters.
Like
It's
the
exactly
energy
like
drink.
that.
Is it based off the energy drink?
Is it?
Is it?
It's an ad for Monster Energy.
You know what though? I'm pretty sure. Did Lana Del Rey do a song about Aileen Wuornos? Was that
I
what
feel like
Florida? 'Cause she's a
someone-
Florida lady,
Yeah,
right?
she's from Daytona Beach, I think. Let me see.
Somebody did a song about her.
No, that sounds very familiar. Let me do some research.
Yeah, I was like, research time.
Eileen.
I mean, she's so interesting. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if people
Yeah.
some different things about her.
Gonna watch it as soon as possible.
Yay.
Yeah. Intrigued now.
Me too. Isabel, we can always change the episode name to horror movies. They're not really horror movies, but unknown creepy movies.
Spooky
I don't know.
times.
Spooky,
Spooky
creepy
time?
combo.
Spooky time.
Gulag, Monster Mash.
So I was gonna
Goulash.
come up with a title for this episode.
Monster Mash Goulash.
No, I literally I just said the title: spooky, creepy, cool combo monster, gulag, goulash, ghouls, combo time.
Okay, when I'm
All right,
editing, I'll write it down.
Perfect.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Who do you guys want me to go next? Do you guys want Isabella to go next?
You can go next since we were fighting.
Yeah.
today.
You can go
Wait, who?
next.
Me?
You.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Angelique.
Okay, I can go next. So I don't know what movie I'm gonna talk about now because everyone's been doing like not weird. That's
Oh no, you
not a
can
good
do
word.
whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm between. What movie do you guys want to hear? Scream or Le
I'm gonna
Diablo?
do.
Okay, then you do Scream. I'll do a different one then. I'll do so. Like, I was watching the Korean cinema movie yesterday, and I was like, this movie's pretty cool. But it reminds me of like a better French movie, like that I've seen before. So I watched this French movie also from. Let me pull up my details because literally I just pulled it out of my head right now.
You guys are saying such good movies. Oh my gosh.
I watched this in high school. Interesting enough. So it's called Le Diabolique. It came out in 1955.
Oh my! I love that movie.
Ooh.
It's
Go
a
ahead,
really
Alex.
good movie.
It's so Henry the Clouseau or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Henry Georges Clouzot.
That's a great movie.
So basically, it's a kind of like it involves killers. Yeah, killers.
Yeah, it's 100% a killer movie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So basically, what this movie's about is about these two women. They live at a boarding school, and they but one of them's the wife and one of them's the mistress, and then the principal is the husband. So they both know
Are they,
we're both
teachers at the boarding school?
they're teachers at the boarding school.
Oh, that's some tea right there.
That is
Yeah.
juicy.
That's very
That is,
juicy.
you know what? It's a very juicy movie.
It's a very juicy movie.
Really?
I love a good juicy movie.
I won't spoil. I'll get to the point, but I won't spoil the whole movie because I feel like it's. I mean, I feel like I tell it really well. I told it to my roommate the other night. She's like,
Don't spoil the ending though, because that ending is so.
ending like gets
Oh, okay,
you. It's
Simon.
10
Now
out of
he
10.
doesn't
No,
want to spoil.
my sister and I
Oh,
watched it
they're
like
all
a few
ghosts.
weeks. My sister and I watched it a few weeks ago, and my sister screamed at the ending.
Ooh.
It's a creepy movie.
Yeah, okay,
like
don't tell us the ending then. I'm gonna.
so
add it to the list
basically,
right
so it's on HBO
Love that.
Max, but also it's also on Canopy if you're a Chapman student. So basically, what happens in the movie is like I said, that mistress and the wife know each other, and they're like, "What if we just killed him? What if we just killed her?" Like,
Yeah.
girly things, sleepover. So they're
Yeah,
they go to I hope someone animates us one day and just animates us like explaining what movies are. That'd be great. Like, so the two women were like, oh my gosh. So, they're like, one night they decide to drug him, so he's asleep, and they drag him into the bathroom and they drown him, like, and everything.
And it's
like
also French, so like it's like extra dramatic.
Yeah. So what they do, they cover like the wife is like very much like, it takes place mostly in the wife's perspective, I'm pretty sure. So they cover the body. They're like they put like little boards on the bathtub so like they don't have to see it. They're like, we pretend we do not see that for a little bit. Let it sizzle. And then the wife was like, okay, time to get rid of the body, and then it's gone. The body's gone, and everyone's like, what happened to the body? I don't know. And the whole rest of the movie is figuring out what happened
the whole time.
The rest of the movie is figuring out what happened to the body. But
ooh,
that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
The ending really gets you though. I remember. So my high school French teacher, shout out to Madame Boyle, very sweet woman. I'm sorry, but I didn't really learn a lot of French from you. But you showed us some really good movies, and I'm a film major, so thank you. Like, we watched like the 400 Blows. We watched Breathless. And I remember she showed, like, you know, it was kind of sad because I did enjoy 400 Blows when I was a kid. I love it more now, but I was a 15-year-old kid in a French class. And she was like, the ending is so good, like, revolutionary. And I remember watching the 400 Blows and being like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And, but she showed us this movie. I think the whole, like, I remember specifically she wasn't there for us to watch the ending, because she was testing, like, we were a combined class, so she was testing, like, the seniors outside. And so we all watched the ending, and we were like, oh, shit. Like, oh, my God. Like, we were, what the heck did we just watch? And she didn't witness, like, the only movie we all got really into. So it's a well-written movie. Like, I only seen this movie once, and I saw it when I was 15 or 16. And now I'm 20 years old, and I still remember the movie, like, the back of my hand. So,
ooh,
very
intrigued by that.
Very French, very black and white, very noir. If I say
that is a deep cut. I literally just saw that 2 weeks ago, and I was like,
that's so funny. I want to watch it with y'all. I want to rewatch it again.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. That's really interesting.
And it's also interesting because Stanley Kubrick stole from that movie for The Shining. He stole,
really,
of course he did.
He stole so many. Like, there's a scene, Angelique, I don't know if you remember, where they're on the typewriter, where he writes that thing over and over on the typewriter.
No, like I said,
that happens in The Shining, though.
And it happens exactly. And there's the scene when Danny's down the hallway, that he stole that. And I mean, it's a fairly old movie, so it was fairly old when it came out. And The Shining's still great, but
that's tea.
He stole a lot from it. It's a really good
that's
movie.
Some tea right there.
Mm-hmm. But
Exposed.
It's just like, the acting's good, the twist, chef kiss, very twisty. But yeah, it's like, I really recommend it if you are. I wouldn't say it's that scary either. It's very spooky vibes, but
I like spooky.
Get it. Wait, I don't have my headphones, so I can't like scream in the mic. But 15-year-old Angelique could watch this movie, and like I said, stay with me. I'm a pussy, so if I could watch it, you can probably watch it too if you're scared.
It's definitely an eerie movie, and there's a lot of like 12 annoying, jerky 12-year-old boys running around in the movie, so it's really funny.
Love
you have
that.
to control all these horrible kids.
Oh yeah, and like, it's like very much you feel anxious while watching it too, because you're mostly in the perspective of like the wife, and like she freaks out. Like, one scene I remember specifically that reminded me of the movie we're supposed to watch in Korean cinema. It's called The Evil Stare. Evil Stare. I don't know. Like,
I thought it was like The Devil's Stairway or
something. The Devil's Stairway. The Devil's Stairway.
It's got some other name.
Yeah, there's like multiple names to it.
Imagine
so the Devil's Stairway is like kind of. It's like the thing that reminded me. So in Devil's Stairway, they have to like drain a pond, and it reminds me because in the movie, so basically in the Diabolique, there's a one part like, so the first thing they think is it's not in the bathtub, so they probably put it in this nasty ass pool that's in like the courtyard. It's a really nasty pool, and it hasn't been touched. So like that's what like I think the wife thinks, that like the body's being dragged there and like dropped in the pool, where it's like you can't see the bottom. So like basically
Oh no.
this nasty kid was one day playing with the ball and like drops his ball into like, you know, the pool, and then he falls into it, and I think he feels something, and he's like, what's going on? Like, I felt something. And then they drain it, and like you feel really anxious, but still no body. So
You know what that reminded me of? That's like just you talking about that pool reminded me of Aquamarine.
Oh yeah, it's a very
the best
awkward
movie ever made.
spookiest movie ever made.
My favorite Halloween movie is Aquamarine.
Aquamarine, hands down.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, that's the movie I recommend.
Sounds really good.
These are such good recommendations.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Isabella.
Yeah, and the poster's really cool though too, if I say so myself. Like I want to get a poster of that.
IMDb when I was looking it up. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Isabella, take it away. You and Michelle, take it away.
Yeah, Michelle.
See your reflection in my glasses. I know that's kind of annoying, but I have to go full Jess mode for this. Okay. Those are all really good recommendations. So I guess, you know, I'll talk about one that we all know and we all love. And that also kind of like does a fun thing with like genre mixing, which is why I always liked it. And that's Scream.
Yay! The one I was going to do, but then...
I still haven't seen it.
You'd love it. I feel like it's
I think you'd like it.
It's a classic.
So
it's very, you know, and it's fun because we've all seen Dawson's Creek, so you can see the similarities and how like Dawson's is very like self-reflexive.
It's got that 90s vibe, like that really comfy 90s vibe.
Yeah.
Dawson came after, right? It was Scream and then Dawson?
Yeah.
Or Dawson then Scream?
Yeah, because I mean, they reference it.
Okay.
Dawson created Scream. Dawson Leary directed Scream.
Yeah, of course. He's such a film bro. So I feel like, okay, someone has a poster of like Dawson, or someone has a poster of either Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is just
it's Kevin one of those. Or is it? Yeah, no. Is it when Pacey's work in the beginning when Pacey's working at that movie shop? Remember?
Oh, probably.
I know that they have like posters of the movies. Like
it's got to be there.
Yeah, it's probably there because Dawson only has Spielberg.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were doing it because like I thought you were saying about someone we knew, but I do remember that our friend Joseph, his roommate, had a poster of Scream, and we like filmed in there a lot, and it was the only poster, I think. Yeah, it was the only poster they had.
I don't remember that either. That's funny.
I just remember it was the only poster they had in their like room. Like that's all I remember.
Just
it's a good choice. Poster. So
yeah,
I think I could be totally wrong. If Joseph has finally subscribed to our channel, you can correct me. But if not, I'm gonna guess it's that. It's Scream. It's a Scream poster.
I feel like he's like not gonna remember.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, Scream. What's a Scream? I don't know that. What's a roommate?
Isabella, you're saying though that like about like the genre combining thing. I totally had forgotten about how much of like a comedy and of course a teen drama it was, because I always just the minute I think of it, I associate the aesthetics with the 90s comfiness, you know, nostalgia, sort of retro kind of thing. But no,
but it's also like gory too. Like there's like never forget the girl who gets like her head crushed in the garage.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So
and the beginning too, right?
It's like
in the middle,
images, but then the rest of it,
like the iconic beginning scene is pretty
of
gory.
Course, with Drew Barrymore.
My girl Drew, love her.
Great scene. That's a great scene.
Yeah,
because I think they advertised it as Drew Barrymore being like the protagonist in the movie, like in a lot of like posters and like trailers, and then like when you see she gets killed in the beginning, people are like, what the heck? So
it's kind of like Psycho.
That's like a
too, how
exactly. I was just thinking about that.
Janet Leigh like gets killed like halfway through the movie, and she's advertised to be like the protagonist, but then she just dies, and then the rest of the movie like is about.
I think that's so interesting.
And everyone. So I think it's really interesting when like horror films really play with like marketing and things like that, because I think it just adds to like the horror value of it more. Like they have fun with it, because I feel like horror. It gets so like diminished into It just has to be like one
like tropes
like just one horror genre. Exactly. The tropes and the cliches, but it's like if you really play around with it and you have fun with it, like you can actually make a really good horror movie, even though it like Scream's really good, but it's like you think it'd be like a teen drama movie. Like so it's really interesting how they, especially very Kevin Williamson, but how he like just makes it work. I think it's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I still need to see it. I can't believe I haven't.
Yeah.
Aside about
watch it. It's really good.
So I love it. I have a very personal account with this, or like the movie's very personal to me because I remember I was everyone knows I'm a pussy when it comes to like scary things and stuff, but like I was first in my best friend Eric, he loves like horror movies and like or at least older horror movies. So I remember he was like, you should watch Scream, it's not scary. So the first time ever like scary movie I watched was Scream, and like I loved it. Yeah, so and we watched all the Scream movies after that. So I've seen all of them that have come out. And me and Eric's little thing, like shout out to Eric. Happy birthday, Eric. Your birthday was a while ago.
Oh, I was like,
over a week ago, to last Thursday. So happy belated birthday!
Yeah.
Shout out! Yay!
I feel like what you were saying with kind of horror movies that go out of like the tropes or like play with it. Like I feel like Cabin in the Woods does that like very blatantly, and that's why I love it so much because it's like it's very reflexive and it's very like horror, but they take it to a new level where it's like oh, I forget because Clarice, Sydney, and I watched it together as one of our like movies on our list, and it was because Sydney really likes that movie, but Clarice and I hadn't seen it, and Sydney described it really well, saying like you're honestly never gonna know what's gonna happen next in this movie, whereas like most movies, especially horror, like you kind of know what's coming because like it is so trope filled and so like but it plays with that in a really cool way because like part of you actually like knows what's coming, but it happens in a way that you wouldn't expect. So like for example, there's always like the order of who gets killed first, and like it's like the bimbo girl and like the whatever, and then like the virgin is the last one standing, and but they like make a point in that movie to explain that and be like, oh, but like I don't know, it's just I don't want to spoil anything, but it does it in a really good way.
No, I kind of want to watch a movie tonight because we finally have a TV in our living room. So movie night in my house, my place.
Kind of reminds me of like Get Out too, in the sense that like you don't know what's going to happen next, and I feel like Get Out isn't like very like horror-esque on the surface of it. I feel like in my I took a vampire class when I was abroad last semester.
Yes.
And it was really fun just getting to talk about like reinventing the horror genre. And I think especially nowadays too, like there's just so many things being done that are just really cool. Like especially with like Jordan Peele movies.
Robert Eggers
movies. Yeah. Like they're totally like reinventing the genre, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with horror.
Well,
Scream was the blueprint, but
literally, I was about to say.
Definitely.
But no, like you were saying, how you were saying it's like a good teen drama too. It's like it's a dumb, somewhat pretentious old adult, saying, but it's like if there's if a good horror movie has to be just a good movie first. It can't just be like your generic
that's
thing.
So true.
And that's why Get Out is a great satire, and it's really funny, and it's kind of eerie and intense, and a really great story about having to go this look who's coming to dinner kind of scenario. And Scream, I think, is it's just Dawson's Creek but with a weird serial killer on the loose. And so I think you have to have a good story before you can have like a good any genre, but especially for horror. I think Night of the Hunter does that really well, where it's just a really good kind of gritty Southern story. There's this movie called I'm not sure if you guys saw it, called Green Room.
I heard about that.
It sounds familiar, yeah.
It had what's his name? Picard. Can't believe I blank on his name. Captain Picard. Patrick Stewart, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
His name.
Yeah, it's Patrick. I can't believe
Professor
I forgot.
X.
Yeah, exactly. And it's Professor X, and he plays a neo-Nazi, like this old neo-Nazi, and it's this Oregon punk club and this punk band goes to play, and it's got a really good, like, it's like, you know, Repo Man style soundtrack. It's really good. And but it's also really gritty and intense. And then they kind of I won't spoil it because it's a really thrilling movie, but they witness something and then they have to kind of escape from these neo-Nazis. But it's just a really good kind of gritty, interesting story with interesting characters, interesting themes and music, and about just interesting stuff. And on top of that, it's really, you know, grimy and creepy and violent and just a good horror movie. So I think you have to, Isabel, like you're saying, how it's just a good comedy, a good genre combining thing, I think is totally true.
No, I've heard of Green Room. I just know it's very like gory and stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I really need to like work myself up to that. So personally with me, I'm totally taking this to an aside, but like everyone knows like my personality is I'm a pussy. But the thing was with me is like I'm so interested in like hearing horror movies. I think the horror genre is like one of the most interesting genres out there.
Charge my computer. I'm doing missions.
Like I think the horror genre period is like so interesting. Like one thing I distinctly remember growing up was I remember I went camping with my dad, and my dad was like, "This reminds me of this movie called The Blair Witch Project," and I'm like, "What's that movie?" And then
that's a good movie.
Oh my
god, my
it is a good movie.
So he like described it to me, and I was like, "Whoa!" And like I didn't care I was in the fucking wood. Excuse my language. I didn't care.
You said pussy like 5 times, so it's okay.
FCC regular.
I think we're past that point.
Yeah.
I didn't care that like we were in the woods. I was just so interested. Like, that's so cool, Dad. And I still haven't seen the movie because for some reason, like, I'm the type of person. Even though I always hear that your imagination is more scary than what is actually on screen, but I like maybe
it's
I have
pretty creepy.
Yeah, I heard it's really
like. I watched the Blair Witch Project with one of my friends in New York when I was like 15, and I like wasn't scared of it at all. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention, but like I was just like, this is lame. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was just me. Maybe if I watch it now, I would be scared.
I understand like how you would feel that way.
Yeah, same.
You know, like I remember I think like the suspense of like not knowing what was going to happen was what got me more than the actual horror elements themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I never seen it, so
it's like, well, that's the thing is like not a lot really happens in the movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of just like talk and like
I remember it's interesting just to talk about the Blair Witch Project because I've talked to my parents about it before, and they're like, it was so scary because, again, going back to kind of like marketing.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like it was like a documentary. Like this was really happening.
Yeah, I think that's probably what took me out of it because I would assume like did it come out in 99 or earlier?
I think so. Was it 97 or 99?
It's like late 90s,
right? 90s Dawson's type aesthetic.
So like I feel like obviously then that kind of style like handheld like fake documentary kind of thing was probably like not even a thing.
No, it had never.
So that was like why it was so groundbreaking, right? Because it was like a whole new thing. But I feel like me watching it when I was 15, because now we have like YouTube and we have vlogs and we have like whatever, and obviously it's not like horror most of the time, but I feel like we're so used to it. So I was just kind of like, oh, okay, like cool.
Yeah, it definitely.
So, yeah.
I do think what's interesting about horror is that a lot of it is kind of like you do have to take it with a grain of salt and understanding the era that it came out.
So much of it is dumb too. Right?
Yeah,
a lot of horror I think can be really cheesy if it came out like before like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, so you definitely have to like take everything with a grain of salt because you could watch it and be like The Exorcist, for exple. Like everyone thought that was like the scariest movie ever made, and then I'm sure if we were to watch it now, we'd think it was like, oh, that's it. Like that's dumb.
Like,
actually,
so scary.
Actually, that movie still freaks me out a little bit.
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
It's a cursed movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so
There's this one scene in it where there's this. It's based off this like bird demon called Pazuzu, and already that's scary. But like it's they flash this face on the screen in the beginning of the movie. And it's like super, just no sound, but they just flash this face, and it's the face of. It's actually a woman, but it's a pretty famous face, the Pazuzu face. But it still freaks me out, and that was like
a word in The Sims.
A Pazuzu? Sorry, no.
I'll take one of those Pazuzus.
That sounds like a
Sounds
word
like a-
from The Sims.
It
It sounds
does.
like it sounds like a
Pazuzu.
Like a
it sounds like a
Pazuki.
yeah, Pazuki. It sounds like a Pazuki. Like I'll
Yeah.
take a Pazuzu.
Oh, Pazuki. Oh,
I do
yeah,
love the
Pazuki.
Pazuki.
That sounds really good right now, actually.
Yeah. We might be
But,
getting some
But-
tomorrow.
Peanut
Oh.
butter
Doing a little movie
Pazuki.
night. A little movie
Oh.
night.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll watch one of these movies. I actually think we're gonna watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, I love
Oh.
that
Never
movie's
seen
great.
Y'all have
that.
seen that?
Oh my god,
No.
Hunter, that movie is so good.
I love that movie.
Oh,
I watched it on a plane. You know, plane movies, they always hit different.
That's a
they
good plane
hit.
movie.
They hit.
So
Plane movies
They
hit.
hit. We talk about this all the time, but plane
They
movies
hit.
hit, man. Like, and like I was laughing so hard. Like it's so
so
funny.
good.
It's
so
like
well done.
it's one of the only movies that's like it's like a wholesome movie, but it's not annoying about it. It's really like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just like it's like a feel good movie, but it's also genuinely funny.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
laughing
it's
thinking about
yeah,
it.
it's interesting. Wait, and you haven't seen it? Do you know what it's about? Do you want me to explain? Okay, basically
Vampires, right?
it's a Taika Waititi like mockumentary about vampires,
Mm-hmm.
but they're all like it's like wholesome in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
then
also
Yeah,
kinda
so I'm
freaky.
looking it up right now.
yeah,
It's
it's about
kinda
like their daily
freaky.
life sort of thing. Yeah, but
That old what's the one that's based
the
off
dead or
Nosferatu?
like the really
the old one.
that one
that's kinda
scares me.
freaky. Yeah,
Pita.
Like when he
Yeah.
first came up, I was like, dude.
He was
But
like Nosferatu.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's-
it's interesting because I normally don't like the best term I could think of is like fucky. Like I normally don't like fucky movies like that. But like I really
Like,
like this movie. It's so funny, I feel like.
It seems like it's kind of like Jackass, but like
we're doing like a call, and I had to come up with a costume. So when your mom walks in on that
She probably saw that. I was like, "What are you doing?"
she saw it before. She saw it before. Just said nothing.
She's used to it at this point, honestly.
Living at home.
Oh my god.
I love that.
I get that.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Well, there's so many spooky movies I want to watch now. Another
know.
movie I was thinking of is I never seen it, but I saw like someone do a commentary on it. Was Ready or Not? I heard that
I haven't
one.
seen
like,
that.
I heard that was good, actually.
I
Is
heard
that
it was
right?
good. It came out
It
last year,
came out
right?
last year, yeah.
Oh.
So the people who did that movie, I forget their name, but they did this movie. There's this anthology movie called VHS. I'm not sure if you guys seen it.
Ooh, no.
It's real. Like in terms of horror movies, I'd say I'd definitely put it in. I don't know if I'd say top 5, but maybe top 10. Especially the second one's really good. But it's like Blair Witch, where it's these collections of like found footage, you know. And each one is a different story. Each one is directed by a famous director or a famous horror director. And one of the people who did Ready or Not did one of these segments for VHS. But that one was insane too, because when VHS came out, nobody had really done something. They had done it in the 90s with this movie called, oh my God, it's a really annoying Belgium movie. It's Barking Dogs. I can't remember. I saw it so long ago. But nobody had really done a movie that was like a found footage, like snuff film kind of, that had really violent kind of bordering on like pornographic stuff in it. And so when like I remember watching that like in middle school with friends, and like it felt really like real and graphic and like super. It was definitely new at the time, and they made like 3 of them, and the third one is not good. But those first 2 are like some of the best horror movies of all time, I'd say. Yeah, they did Ready or Not. I haven't seen Ready or Not either.
Yeah.
I
know what happens, but like I got really into the commentary, so now I want to see it.
Yeah.
Another movie I haven't seen, but I hear it's super scary, is The Babadook. I never seen it. But
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, I
That's
saw it a
pretty good.
while ago.
Same.
Yeah. It was like, I don't know. I feel like I can't really say much about it. I don't know. I mean, like, it was scary. It's kind of like, it's like Conjuring vibes kind of thing, where it's like everything kind of happens in the house.
I found it kind of depressing more than it was really like.
It was.
Yeah, I've heard that it's kind of like
right?
upsetting.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's because
I remember it that vividly.
I watched it, and I watched it once, and I was like, oh, this is not really like a horror. This is just kind of sad. And then I watched it again last year for one of my classes in the theater, and I was like, watching it in the theater it's so freaking scary.
Oh, I'm sure.
No,
I got
yeah,
like,
no.
respect.
when I saw Scott Pilgrim versus the World like on 30 millimeters like a while ago, like a few summers ago, and you know, it was like one of those artsy movies at movie theaters, and instead of showing like new movies, they show like old movies are showing, and the Babadook came out. I think I got up and I left. I was like, mm-mm. Then I just got up.
The theater, I feel like it'd be really scary.
Yeah,
it's the sound too is like if you have like a good sound with it, either in theaters or just at home, it definitely hits way different. But yeah, it's still it still just bummed me out kind of.
The only thing I know about the Babadook is when I was in high school, like someone on the speech and debate team did like a duo performance of like a Babadook scene or something, and I watched it and it was pretty cool. But again, I didn't know what it was about because I haven't seen the movie. But that was cool.
Speaking of speech and debate, I was speech and debate captain at my school.
All right. We get it.
But I didn't win any awards, but, you know, I told people what to do. So they won awards for me, of course. So it wasn't good or anything, but I was the only senior. So they were like, I guess we'll give it to you. So, yeah, that's pretty spooky. I say so myself.
Pretty spooky.
Pretty spooky. And Simon, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say Babadook is really good too because it was directed by a woman, and it's about a single mother, so it has this kind of really the same way, you know, Girls feels sort of realistic. It has that kind of, you know,
Girls.
The kind of like anti-male gaze. It's interesting. It's a really like cool movie in that aspect.
It's been on my list for so long. Wait, what?
Yeah, I wish Girls had a Halloween episode.
Right? I was trying to think, like, do they ever?
Do they?
I don't think so.
They never have like any holiday episodes. I feel like
they don't.
No, they don't.
That would be
another
fun,
TV show that has a good Halloween special is Orange High School Host Club. They have a Halloween episode. It's an anime, my favorite anime, and they just have to like, I think it's a competition where like the classes have to like compete about who can scare the other like junior class or like senior class, stuff like that. That's the whole. It's so funny. I recommend Orange High School Host Club. Very good vibes. And yeah, Animal Crossing 2 has some good Halloween vibes right now. Based on myself.
They do.
I can't think of any other like Halloween episodes from shows I've watched.
I was about to say Shameless doesn't have a Halloween episode, or maybe they do.
They don't do. I feel like if they did, it wasn't like that big of a deal. Like that wasn't. I remember like talking about this because I was like, I feel like Shameless doesn't really have any holiday episodes, except for the one Thanksgiving episode when Monica, you know,
she goes cuckoo in the kitchen.
But like other than that, yeah, she does something not very good.
I think
a
it's
holiday episode.
I think it's because a lot of TV shows like that. When I think not TV shows like that, but like sitcoms and comedies, I think there's more comedic aspects when it comes to like Thanksgiving episodes. I see a lot more Thanksgiving episodes in like sitcoms. Like you have a lot of How I Met Your Mother, like can't speak. You have a lot of How I Met Your Mother and like Friends Thanksgiving episodes, but like when you compare that to Halloween, like you have none of. I don't think they did.
I mean, you do have the classic How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, they have he's the ballot thing and like the sexy pumpkin.
Yeah, sexy pumpkin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do not like How I Met Your Mother that much, but I do applaud that some of the inside jokes are like iconic, like sexy pumpkin. The ballot. Yeah. No, it's just fun. I think the show's well written, but some of the characters are annoying. That's my tea on How I Met Your Mother.
That's valid.
But yeah.
I feel like that's like I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people like the show, but like some of the characters are like annoying.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
I really like the show because I really like the show. But I'm also biased because one of the main actresses from Buffy is in it, so I got very excited.
Oh my god!
I figured you were gonna. Buffy.
Yeah,
I feel like Buffy would have some good Halloween episodes.
Buffy.
The whole show is a Halloween.
I mean, I was gonna say the whole show is Halloween.
Yeah, you got me there.
The whole town is just a Halloween episode.
Isn't it? Wait, Isabel, didn't you say? Isn't it a Torrance show? Isn't it in that area?
Wait, what?
Don't they film in? Yeah, don't they film in Torrance?
Probably.
Or is the high school in Torrance? Yeah, I thought.
Me? There,
I mean, it's based in California.
there's been a few shows that have filmed like.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find out.
can't
I
remember
know
if you
like
told me or not.
90210 filmed at a high school in my city. Buffy might have. Well, now I have to look it up.
Maybe it's your rival high school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, filming. Yeah, Torrance.
my school's
Sunnydale,
ugly, so
Torrance High
it's
School.
probably. I knew it was going to be Torrance High School. Yeah, they
You
film
live
a
near
lot
there?
of stuff at Torrance
Oh,
High
they
School.
filmed 90210. Wow.
Yeah, they filmed 90210 at Torrance High School. I didn't go to Torrance High School, but I've like
Okay,
seen it
yeah.
before. I like live close to there. But,
Spicy.
yeah, they've done a lot of school shows. It has like the fancy, like the front building is like very tall and just like kind of gives off like
yeah.
almost like collegey vibes. So I feel like it's a good school to film at.
That makes
Not
sense.
my high school. My high school is really ugly.
It
But
is.
Torrance is actually kind of pretty. Yeah, it's like a freaking prison.
Oh my god.
Key.
Prison camp.
Prison vibes.
But
Prison
I guess
vibes.
I love
with
Buffy.
that, shall we do closing? Since
Yeah.
we've been talking for
I mean,
a little bit.
What do we want to say?
Last words.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Don't be stupid.
Be safe. Be smart.
Don't go to
Get your
parties,
beat
you
down.
stupid.
Get your flu shot. I got my flu shot today.
Get your flu shot. Vote.
Ooh, get your.
But we probably won't see y'all until after the election, so
Y'all, I'm stressed. I'm stressing.
That is a
Big
stressful
time.
thought.
Yeah.
My criminal
vote, get your
justice
flu
teacher
shot.
on Thursday was like, because it's Tuesday, Thursday, he was like, well, next time I see you, it'll be election day.
No.
And he was
I
like,
hate that.
I know, I hated it. And he was like, if you need to skip class to go vote, please do that. This class isn't that important. And I was like, nice.
Tea.
Smart advice, honestly.
Mhm.
I'm
yeah, so
big stressed.
Flu shot. Vote. Be safe
Vote.
on this.
Don't go
Don't
to
do
Halloween
something
parties
stupid.
with people you don't live with.
Mhm.
If you're going to do a Halloween thing, just hang out with your roommates or your family.
Mhm. That you live with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give out candy to people, I guess. Don't go trick or treat.
Don't give out like apples with razors in them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
give
we
them
don't-
out. Throw them at children. Throw apples
Yeah.
with razors in them.
Sit on your balcony and just
Simon,
chuck them
no.
at kids' heads.
Oh my gosh, that just reminds me. This is like a totally like not a. It is a tangent. It's a story, but I remember when I was in 8th grade for Halloween. Me and my we're 8th graders. We thought we were so funny and so edgy. So instead of going trick or treating, we took the bowl of candy and instead of going trick or treating, we would give them candy. We're like trick or treat, and we would give the candy in our bowl into their bowl.
They got tricked.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like,
Oh,
we thought
You
we-
got them.
Got him.
And we started throwing candy at people too.
my
Like
God.
very edgy 8th
Wait,
graders.
Simon, I have a question for you because on one of our earlier October episodes, we talked about favorite childhood costume. So I was wondering if maybe you had a standout costume. If not, it's okay. I just feel like you would have some good ones.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited.
I was so late. When I was like little, like, like first grade and that type of stuff, I had like those superhero costumes, but they're pajamas.
Classic.
So I just wear my pajamas. I had like a Batman one.
Smart.
I'm trying to think. I remember in 7th grade, in 7th grade, I was Kurt Cobain.
God.
Yeah.
The striped. Yeah.
Simon, you better not make me try to spoken you.
Wait,
Oh
did
my
you
God.
put a blonde wig on or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you
Tell me
like?
that you
Yeah,
did.
I had a blonde wig.
Did you have a photo?
Of course.
If you,
If you have a photo,
wish.
can you send it to us and I can put it?
It was
in?
an easy. I always go for easy because I already had, most
Kurt
of my
Cobain,
like.
Cardi.
Yeah, I have several cardigans, and then I already have half of my like wardrobe is flannel. So then it's like, oh, I just wear.
Wait,
my
now
jeans
I
are
want to be Kurt Cobain
My jeans
For
are already
Halloween.
ripped because I'm a bum.
it's actually really easy.
because I'm a
Yeah.
bum.
Because I'm
We
a
can all be
bum.
like
Simon,
all
can you
be
be Courtney Love?
Wear like a
we
baby
can
doll
all-
dress.
we can all be like musicians. Hunter was Elvis.
Yeah.
That's
Kurt
so
Cobain.
good.
Have you seen the
I can
photo
be-
in our
I
episode?
can be
Were
Michael-
you fat, Elvis?
No.
Like, did you get like wear? You see, I would go for
I have
like
worn
a
a fat suit in my life though. But
fat suit Elvis with like a
her.
toilet attached to you. Dead Elvis.
Oh
he died on
no!
the
What is with
toilet.
you and being dead celebrities?
It's the only way to do it.
Oh
my
god.
God.
I
could
cringe
be.
when I
Sorry, I could be Michael Jackson. I've been told I kind of look like Michael Jackson.
like.
Oh no! I don't think that would be a well-received
Yeah,
costume.
Yeah, I cringe at the fact that I was Kurt
Oh my God, you
Cobain,
know what I
but
just
didn't do
found?
dead Kurt Cobain.
In my phone. Why is
Oh,
it?
That's-
no.
What we all need to dress up as for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my God, you know who's right
The
next
brown
to it?
tracksuit.
Dawson!
It's on your
Yeah.
birthday post that I did. Oh my God, you know who's right next to that?
My favorite people. That
Adam.
was so cute.
the man.
You broke my heart. Thanks. That's my favorite scene.
I'm telling you, like, he is the best.
I'm in
part
love with
about
him
that show.
now. That's
Like,
my
he's the
update.
best part.
I'm telling you.
Update. I'm in love with Adam Driver.
My
I was
update,
the
I'm in
same
love
way.
with
Like, I
Adam.
was in love with him.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen Girls, and I was already
He's-
in love with him.
Like,
Now
he's
you have to
so
watch Angelique. I'm telling you.
The show should be called
It's
Boys
so
because
good.
The show
boys
should
are
be
the
called
best.
Boys.
The Boys. They already have a show called
B-O-I-Z.
Boys.
They already got
I
the
will-
They
boys.
should make a remake. Spin-off?
I guess I will only
That's what I
watch
was hoping.
Girls if y'all watch Oran High School Host Club. There has to be a fair
Deal.
exchange here.
Girls
Is it on Netflix?
So good.
Oran High School Host Club is on Netflix. It's so
I thought it was
good.
on Hulu.
No, it's on. I think no, it's on.
I watched it
Netflix.
on Hulu when I watched the pilot.
Oh, for Oran High School Host. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was on
I think
Hulu
so.
either. Well, I
Or
guess it's on
maybe
both.
I'm lying.
Oh,
It's
off
on both.
topic. I just remembered another good Halloween costume. When I was in second grade, I was super obsessed with alien abductions, so I was an alien. I love aliens, but that's a real.
I love it.
But that's a real.
Love aliens.
Literally, that's a real. Like I put like a big mixing bowl on my head, and I had like white gloves.
Nice.
That's
That was
good.
I love
Some
that costume. Was
pictures.
good as hell.
That's good. Oh my God.
Aliens is always a classic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Simon, any last words you want to say before you leave? Do you want to reveal what your face looks like to the world?
I'm not. I was diet. I was not diet Mountain Dew this whole time.
You
I
ripped
was me.
off.
I was me the whole
What?
time.
Oh,
Plot twist of the century.
Tell.
Guys.
Wow.
That's how
I
Euphoria
know.
ends.
You look
You
so
weren't-
different. Well,
You guys are gonna look so stupid talking to a can of
I
Mountain
know.
Dew.
I got played, man.
You guys are
We
gonna
got
look like
punked.
fools.
We got punked big time. Wow.
Oh God.
Well,
Well,
thank you, Simon,
Walk the
for
plank.
enlightening
No,
us.
thank you guys for having me.
Thank
It's always
not a
fun.
problem. Maybe we'll have you back for our. We're deciding to have a game, probably a game episode
Oh
every week.
yeah, I love
So
that
we
episode.
can-
Was so
Oh
good.
yeah, you could.
Thank you. You can
Yeah,
be our
that'd be
host
fun.
next
That'd be a lot of
time.
fun.
Host the
How
next
did-
game
Yeah.
episode.
But I was like playing along with you guys, and like Isabella was like,
How'd you do?
beating my, like,
No,
Isabella,
but a lot of people
beating
were
my
playing
ass.
along.
Like
I'm the trivia champion.
I could like I like
Not
got so many
flex.
wrong.
Yeah.
We
know.
should
I
next time.
I was like, all right, I know all these.
Mhm. We should have had people comment what they got, because my friend Kevin like texted me being like, I got this many right, and then my mom was like, I got most of them right. I'm like, man, we should have said like,
Ooh, we can
comment
do that
what
next
you get
time.
below.
That's
yeah.
fun.
That's
yeah.
fun.
But for any of our friends out there who are friends with us and want to host a game night, we are open to any game night that is competitive.
You know,
So
I
we
should
can
get Eric to
exchange,
host
like-
one of them. He would be very
Yes.
well with that.
You would be a good host.
Or maybe we'll do a trivia thing with our cast of Noir Baby. That'd be fun. A little game night with
Oh,
them.
no, our baby
We need
needs
to
his
react
match.
to the. We need
Mhm.
to react to that.
We need to
too.
get Owen
Yeah.
on here.
But I guess this shows that like we have a lot of things coming in store for y'all.
Yeah.
Big things
Be
coming,
on the lookout.
folks.
Big things coming. I think we're getting a schedule fixed up, so like there'll probably be episodes coming out like almost every week, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
The
I guess
Gorls.
it's up for you to decide.
Saturdays
if you
are for
like,
the
comment,
girls.
and subscribe.
That should be our tagline.
Saturday for the
Ooh.
girls.
What?
Saturdays are for the Gorls. So
Oh.
we post on Saturdays.
That's so good. That's so good.
Mhm.
Got 'em.
But
All right. Well,
yeah.
with that, happy Halloween, everyone.
Simon, do you want to
Happy
like
Halloween.
do you want to what's that thing like
Oh, do like a sign off.
sign off? Do you want to sign us out?
Yeah.
This is Diet Mountain Dew signing off once and for all.
What should the audience do? What should our
If you dress up as a celebrity, make sure they're a dead celebrity, and make sure you're the corpse version of them.
Oh my
That was
what else
beautiful.
should they
That's
what else
perfect.
should
That's a
they
good piece
do,
of advice.
Simon?
I just cut it there. Just end it there. Honestly.
Yeah.
Send it there.
Bye.
Don't do
You don't
anything
need to-
else.
You don't. Need,
Don't do
yeah,
anything
just
else.
do that. It's
Just
fine.
literally sit in your house alone and let filth collect around you.
You better like, comment,
Oh yeah.
And-
You do that too.
In your
Like,
dead celebrity
I
costume.
guess. I
Like,
guess.
comment,
Share.
subscribe, but that's it. Honestly, don't do anything else.
That's it.
Just waste away.
All right.
But
Thank you all for
Yeah.
watching.
Thank you guys.
bye.
Sayonara.
Happy
Thank you.
Halloween.
Happy
Team
Halloween.
Gorls.
Bye.